Hi everyone, this is Khristee Rich and this is Khristee's Take. So I hope that you have been enjoying season 2 of Holistic Me TV. I know I have. It has been so much fun. So if you have missed any of the episodes, go ahead and go back on the playlist. And today I am going to be continuing the conversation for Adrienne Irizarry's episode. So if you missed her episode, again, go back. It was a juicy one. This was part 2 for her. She was on the second episode and then she came back to share more. So definitely go back and watch both episodes if you can. But if you like, go ahead and start here with this episode. So we are having so much fun on Holistic Me TV, so many different topics, and this last topic was about holistic fertility. So you may remember that Adrienne shared on her first episode about holistic health and wellness and about some health conditions that she had, such as PCOS and such as endometriosis, and she overcame them. She got to the root cause and she remedied them. And on the last episode with her, she was discussing her fertility journey. So she had a long fertility journey. I think it was about 8 years. And her expertise is helping women with their health and wellness, is also helping women with fertility. So this was very much on her heart. It was very stressful for her because she knew all the things. She was able to help so many women get pregnant, but for some reason, she wasn't able to get pregnant for about 8 years. So she discussed on this last episode how she took a holistic perspective and how she really used Eastern Asian medicine, so traditional Chinese medicine, to help her to understand where she was out of balance. So I absolutely love this episode. I resonate so much with Adrienne. Again, go back if you missed it. It was a juicy one. I love that she emphasizes the importance of holistic health and wellness, really getting to the root cause to understand why chronic conditions happen. And for her, it was why she was having fertility issues. So she was able to pinpoint what the reasons were, and one of them was really looking closely at her period and how her cycle was. And so that is her expertise. That is not my expertise, but that is her expertise, and also Chinese medicine. So it was fascinating for me to learn from this perspective. I'm absolutely a big advocate for women's health and also holistic health and wellness. So it's always interesting to hear a slightly different perspective. There's so many different ways for us to get healthy. We may think we don't have any choices. We may think we only have one choice. But that's why I am doing Holistic Me TV, to let you know there are so many choices, so many avenues that you can take to get the results you wish. So, again, this was an inspirational episode because Adrienne was able to conceive. So I had a break between taping for season 1 and also taping for season 2. I had some personal things happening in my life, and I actually did the recording for her a while ago. It was like over a year ago, I think. It's a long time ago, but I didn't release her episode until we started season 2 because I thought it fit so beautifully with the pregnancy journey. So there was a lot for her to share in this episode, and a lot had changed in her life. So there's so much we can get into, but I really want to emphasize how she was able to bust myths. Okay, so not only was she able to remedy it for herself and she did all the right things, but she was also talking about how it put so much pressure on her and her relationship with her husband. So she had the love of her life. She had a wonderful career that had just blossomed over the years and was actually born from her having fertility struggles and wanting to help other women. And she was doing all the right things, but still not able to conceive. And she realized it was putting so much pressure because she was trying to be so perfect, doing all the things. And so, one of the issues I like to talk about, because Women's health and wellness is also my specialty. Holistic health and wellness is also my specialty, but so is fertility. So is helping women to conceive naturally. And I want to emphasize to everyone watching that it's not just about getting the physical body right. Okay, Western medicine is always about, okay, what's going on wrong in the woman's body? Because they normally, unfortunately, blame the woman. And then they focus there, but they don't look on how she's feeling emotionally. They don't look on her spouse or her partner's health. They don't look on her spiritual well-being, etc. So holistic health and wellness is mind, body, and spirit. So yes, the body's important, but for Adrienne, she had to also relax her nervous system because she was putting way too much pressure on getting this right. Okay, and then she talked a little bit about how she went to someone and that person was helping her to connect with her spirit babies and to send a message that everything happened for a purpose, for a reason, to help her to grow and to help her business to grow. But when the time was right, then she would have her son. And she had her son last fall. So this is an inspirational story to all of you watching out there that you can get to the root cause. It will happen in divine timing, but you have to take the pressure off yourself. You have to relax because if you're holding on too tight, that's not going to allow it to happen, and that's going to cause friction in your relationship, and you don't want that. So I love how she busted so many myths because she was an older mom. So if you have listened to her podcast, you know that she loves to bust myths. You know that she's a reproductive rebel, getting the word out about the truth to empower women. And so she talks a lot about being an older woman and being an older mom. And there's a lot of myths out there. There's a lot of fear messaging saying that if you conceive later, then you're going to have terrible health. You are going to have birth complications. You are going to be high risk because you're older. And then you could have preeclampsia. Then you could have gestational diabetes, gestational hypertension, etc. And you could have a child who's unhealthy too. So let's bust this myth because she illustrated it so perfectly with her experience. So Adrienne shared that she was actually healthier this time around because she had conceived when she was in her 20s. She was healthier, I think she said at 40, than she was at 27. And that was because of the care that she took for her body. That is the care that she took prioritizing her health and wellness. So, if you prioritize your health and wellness, if you eat well, if you exercise, if you relax, if you get good sleep, if you drink good quality water, if you're conscious of your environment and making sure you're not exposed to all these toxic chemicals and detox, etc., then you can be healthier. Age is just a number. Okay, I want to star this. I want to emphasize this. She was healthier being an older mom than she was in her 20s. And not only that, she was very healthy throughout her pregnancy, had a home birth. A lot of people think you can't have a home birth if you're older. They think that there's a cutoff and that it's not safe, but home births are safe if you are healthy, if you're in good condition. And she didn't have all the problems she had the first time around. So the first time around, she had bleeding for months. She couldn't stop. I think she said 6 months. And she finally went to someone, and that's how she got into Chinese medicine because that person was a Chinese practitioner and was able to get to the root cause and help her. So again, so many full circle moments with her stories. I just love it. So she was able to overcome issues that she had. She had some little hiccups. She did have some bleeding after giving birth, but she was able to take herbs and to remedy it. So she was able to bounce back quicker. So I just want to emphasize again, home births are safe. You can have a home birth if you're older. And she had the support this time. She knew to have the support. She had the midwife and she had other people around her. She made sure she had those meals and was prepared postpartum. A lot of people do not prepare for postpartum. They prepare for the birth, and then postpartum is a shock to them. They're like, wow, I didn't know I needed to prepare for this. So your community is very important too. I want to emphasize this. It's important to consider the whole journey. So, to prepare not just to conceive and to be healthy, but to prepare to be healthy in pregnancy, to be healthy in labor, to be healthy in postpartum, and not only that, but to have a healthier child by preparing before. And also to make sure you understand the whole process. Make sure you understand what happens at a hospital birth. Make sure you understand what happens and what doesn't happen in a home birth. Okay, so to educate yourself, to inform yourself is so important. A lot of people just have the hope and pray method. They're like, okay, I want to conceive later. I'm older. I'm just going to do it. And I was able to do it. And I'm just going to hope and pray. I have an okay labor and postpartum and all of that. And that's not really a good strategy. Instead, it's better to work with professionals to make sure you understand, make sure you have your questions answered, make sure that you have enough information so that you can make informed decisions. Birth is very unpredictable. We don't know what's going to happen, even if we have done a lot of preparing. So with Adrienne's story, she had a beautiful home birth. So again, go back and listen. But she was I wouldn't say unprepared. She wasn't expecting what happened to her postpartum. So she did get staff to support her during pregnancy. She had people under her to do the admin so that when she went on maternity leave, her business was still going. So that was well planned. But she didn't expect that one of those people would decide, I don't want to do this anymore. So she lost staff when she needed it most. And then she went into matrescence. So matrescence is the period of becoming a mother, but also it can be specifically matrescence is when you become a mother and you're not really prepared emotionally for the change. So that is what happened to Adrienne is that she realized, oh my goodness, I've always wanted to have this child with my husband. Now the baby's here, but now I can't continue with my business how it's been. It's got to change. I have changed. I can't do the same amount now with a little one. And that was really hard for her to accept and to go towards that new life, that new transition for her business. So I believe she moved out of the physical location where her office was. Again, I told you the staff member left unexpectedly. We can't prepare for everything. We don't know, but we can do the best that we can. So again, it's important to have a community who can support you through the ups and downs. So something I want to talk about is my specialty, since we're talking about holistic fertility, is the importance of, yes, overcoming your chronic conditions before. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia many years ago. It was a misdiagnosis because it was really heavy metal toxicity, but I do believe that a lot of people who are diagnosed with fibromyalgia really do have heavy metals that haven't been released, that if you were to detox, you would feel so much better and possibly also overcome it like I did. So I want to emphasize the importance of detoxification. This is one of my specialties. This is how I overcame my health issues. I was sick with a debilitating chronic illness for 15 years. Yes, 15 years is a long time when you have big dreams and ambitions, and I couldn't function. I couldn't do all that I wanted to do being sick. So, this is important for women just for living a good life to be healthy, but also if you want to conceive a child, you want to be as healthy as possible because things can escalate once you're pregnant. Okay, your hormones are changing, you are more sensitive, you are more vulnerable, you are more susceptible to becoming sick and to developing chronic conditions. So it's important to be as healthy as possible. And by doing a detox, this will fortify you. This will boost your immune system. This will take out all the toxins. This will help you to sleep better, to relax more. And what I do is I teach a holistic detox. So again, it's not just about focusing on the body, it's about the mind, body, and spirit. So it's about being as happy as possible, as relaxed as possible, making sure you develop healthy habits before you conceive so that they become second nature during your pregnancy and after birth. So I just want to emphasize that this is a fabulous way for you to help to conceive, but also to be as healthy as possible to withstand the pressures of life, the stresses of life. So if this is something that's of interest to you, you can reach out to work with me, and I would love to work with you to help you to conceive or to help you to overcome your chronic health condition. And just send me a message. You can email me at Khristee@thedancingcurtain.com. I'll also put my contact link below. You can go to my website and fill out the form online on my website on my contact page. So www.thedancingcurtain.com and then /contact and then fill out a form. And I would love to hear from you. So you have some ideas of different things you can do. You can try Chinese medicine. You can try detoxification. You can work with a healer such as myself. So I've been a healer for over 20 years. I love the work that I do. I can help you again, mind, body, and spirit. I balance all of your chakras. I balance all of your organs. I also connect with your guides, with your ancestors. I can work as a medical intuitive and go into your body and see what your body needs, to see if there's inflammation, to see if your body has messages for you. Okay, our bodies are trying to send us messages, but oftentimes we may not really know what the messages mean, and we may not know what to do. So I have studied holistic health and wellness for over 25 years now. That's one of the reasons why I am healthy now, that I can do these videos to educate you. And there's so much to learn, so definitely reach out if you would like to learn from my expertise and work with me. So what else do we want to talk about before we wrap up? I do also want to talk about the importance of preparing your mental health before going into postpartum. So that's also something that I teach. I teach you to really focus on how you're feeling preconception. Preconception is where I like to work, because if we can center on the issues before they escalate, before they get out of hand, before they become chronic, that's ideal. So if you can focus on your fears before you conceive, if you can focus on your relationship with your mother, maybe it wasn't good. So maybe there's a part of you who's scared. Oh no, will I become like her? I don't want that to happen. What do I do? Is your relationship solid with your partner? Are you eating well now? Are you cooking? Do you know how to make home cooked meals, or are you just grabbing things on the go, getting the fast food, getting the processed food, or the prepared foods? Okay, it's very important what we eat. Food is medicine. Have you done a detox? Have you been taking medication for years? If you've been taking medication for years, if you've been smoking, if you've been doing recreational drugs, if you've been exposed to toxins. I mean, there's so many toxins these days. There's pesticides, there's herbicides, there's sprays for cleaners, there's ex car exhaust, there's pollution, there's the cloud seeding now that they're doing, making these clouds full of all these toxic chemicals and the chemtrails. It's everywhere. So we need to be proactive and we need to take care of ourselves. And this is going to help with fertility. And this is not just women, ladies. This is men too. They also do need to detox. They also do need to take care of their health, because, I mean, what Adrienne said so beautifully in her episode, her husband was willing to do whatever it took so that she could conceive. He was willing to change his diet. He was willing to try things. Anything she said, okay, he was game. And men need to be that open. They need to be open to change their diet. Okay. They are half of the equation. So a lot of people don't know that if you have fertility issues, it could be the man's health. It could be because he's obese. He's eating too much sugar. He's smoking too much. He's drinking too much alcohol. His medications. He's not sleeping. He's very stressed out. Okay, so it's very important to also focus on him and bring him into the picture. Of course, exercise is important. As I mentioned, regulating your nervous system, having some calm moments, having some peace, walking in nature is all very good for you. So what I do is I make it fun. I make it fun to help you to conceive naturally. So if that's something that you wish, if you wish to learn how to put it all together without stressing out your mind, then I'm the girl for you. So definitely reach out. Again, I'll post everything below. But let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any questions from what I have shared today. Let me know if you have any comments from Adrienne's episode. Again, there was just so much in there. And definitely subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. Give me a thumbs up. Any comments are welcome. I want this to be an open place for communication, to continue the conversation. Ask any questions here. Also, definitely make sure you follow me on Substack. I'm now on Substack. The name of the publication is called Healing Childbirth. You can simply type in my name, Khristee Rich, or you can go to the URL. I'll put that below in the show notes, so you can just click on that, subscribe, and then you will be notified of more episodes of Holistic Me TV. You will hear more about my book. You will hear more about my events and services. And again, I just loved how Adrienne was so open and so vulnerable and candid about her birth story. And this is also what I want to encourage. I want to encourage women to share the highs and lows, everything about their journey, and not feel they could only share a small amount. So what I love to do is I love to invite women to share not just about the birth, but about the pregnancy and about even before. Like, did they always want to be a mom? Did they prepare? Were they just surprised? Was it unexpected to get pregnant? Did they have any health issues? And also, what happened postpartum or even years later? That's all connected. So it's all connected. The holistic journey is the whole journey, and it's mind, body, and spirit, and it's understanding the root causes of chronic conditions and how to treat them naturally so that they are no longer an issue. So the other news is that I'm having a free event. And yes, it's an in-person event. So if you're in Connecticut, if you're in Ridgefield, Connecticut, or the Fairfield County area, or even Westchester, come on down. May 22nd, it's a Thursday. It's going to be at 1:30 p.m. and it's going to be a birth storytelling event. So you may have seen that I have been doing birth storytelling on Instagram, and we've been getting a lot of views, and we've had such a variety of stories. It's been so beautiful to hear all the sharings. Well, I've decided to bring it in person so that you can be in person with me and the storytellers. Lauren Chiarello Mika, she is going to be the first storyteller of this new series, so definitely join in. It's free, but space is limited, so I'm encouraging everyone to RSVP. I will put the link below. Just click on that, fill out the short form, and then you'll be on the list. And invite other people, invite friends. I really hope that I get a good turnout so that I can continue this, so that I can share more stories to help more women, to empower you, to give you information, the information that you need to feel empowered so that you can make the informed decisions when the time comes. Okay, like I said, birth is very unpredictable. We may be clear of our birth plan, we may be clear of our intentions, but things will change. So the more you know of other things that can happen, the better prepared you can be. So again, spread the word to your friends. Anybody in Connecticut, May 22nd, 1:30 p.m., birth storytelling in Ridgefield, Connecticut. It's going to be at a business, and all the information will be on the link that you click. So definitely go ahead and RSVP. It's only about a week away. I can't believe it. Let's see, anything else that I wanted to share from her episode? I think that's it. Well, I also love that Adrienne did talk about how pelvic steaming can help to lower your blood pressure. And I thought that was so important because we know preeclampsia, people have been talking about it more and more. It's a very serious condition that can happen at the end of pregnancy. It can sometimes happen in postpartum, and it can be prevented. So I will be discussing this in my book series. That will be actually in book 1. I will be talking about preeclampsia and HELP syndrome, which is even more serious. And just so you know, you can do the pelvic steaming, which will help to lower your blood pressure. So again, I recommend that you do this as a proactive approach before you conceive. As Adrienne mentioned, men can also do the pelvic steaming. It's done a little bit differently, so definitely work with a practitioner like her so that you do it correctly. But this is important. You can prevent it. You can prevent it naturally. And in my book, I will also be sharing other ways to prevent preeclampsia and helping couples, everyone, to understand the root cause so that it can be prevented. Again, I want to give as much information out into the world to help you so that you can have the best experience possible. So I think that's it today. Again, if you have any questions about anything, just let me know. Again, make sure that you try to prepare for every stage before you conceive. Again, that's pregnancy, that's labor, that's postpartum, even after. Make sure you have that community. Make sure you have your resources. And any questions, reach out to me. I would love to support you. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, to give us a like and a comment. Thanks so much. Bye for now.